method of control by which people can be made to enjoy a state of affairs which, by any standard, they ought not to enjoy. This, I mean, the enjoyment of servitude. The scientific dictatorships of the future, and I think they're going to be dictatorships in many.
You're gonna have to turn your television off if you really wanna know what's going on. But it ever pleases, the great harlot has become drunk with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Burnt offerings got you altering your thesis. Trauma-based mind control, keep you chasing golden fleeces. Don't let them snatch you out your wagon. To escape, you'll need a chariot drawn by fire-breathing dragons. To see the big picture, you simply must imagine the horror of Babylon and the Miss America pageant. Smirking at you fervently, with a certainty, giggling at the goyim, secretly calling them serpent seed. Cursedly, gazing upon every man breathing, so eager to ban freedom, reading from the Sanhedrin. Guarding the world's fifth largest arsenal. 400 warheads unofficially, you can't see them. Hell-bent to conquer a land that's stolen. They created a monster, now they can't control them. They go them. You would have to stretch your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation.
Manufactured a golem, but first the Holocaust. A 16th century mystic, know the cause. Kabbalistic as Isaac, savage from the Zohar. A savage who likes the bullshit on Sabbath. In it with witches, just to worship the planet Saturn. Talmudic euthanizer, shoot the two-timer. A Rothschild shielded, name change, new attire. Judeans conspiracy through the fire. Luke don't bite his tongue, he puts it through the wire. Literally atomic bite like Dracula. Finance from Kimberly diamond mines in Africa. It's a nuclear day, but the troops in the way. Stronghold molded from nuclear clay. The golem, solely built to kill the goyim. Deployed them. Holy shit, how you destroy them? Can you imagine a world where no one suffered from?
You would have to stretch your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation.
Can you imagine a world where no one suffered from?
It's more difficult than ever before. If they had their way tomorrow, they'd make it against the law.
Manufacture the Take the dust and make it into a shapeless husk. Sculpt the form with a naked bust and bake the crust. Now they must place trust into the sacred figurine. With rigor they can rig a scene, they dominate the big machine. Disguising blatant lust for war as prophecy, but the prophets that guide them all are what they coffee see. Hypocrisy, stopping the peace rally and claim to offer peace. Then ride the golem beast into the belly of the office feast. Aim shots at doctor, priest and politician, to replace deceased or on a mission. Above the law, beyond protest, behind a statuette. The world held hostage, no escape, a blind attack or threat. Exploiting states of fear to stage a crisis. They're the child of Al Amun Ra and Lady Isis. Decipher red heifer, now the clue is near. It won't get better, it's new and clear, it's nuclear. Smothered in corruption and professional denialism. Enemy of the free world.
Stretch your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation.
Can you imagine a world where no one suffers?
It's more difficult than ever before. If they had their way tomorrow, they'd make it against the law.
La la la. That's an interesting song, ain't it, guys? I don't know. I thought I'd play Jim Enos to start off with. I was want to go over Flight last night, but I thought I'd just do a whole show on like the Blackbird, the SR-72, Dark Star as they call it, their height, their speed, the crazy crap that they'd have to do if they were on the globe. But they always got an excuse. But I mean, if we debunk the radius, that would debunk their gravity, the rate of gravity. If the radius of the Earth is much larger than it is, oh look, I got a monster in the house. There it is. Whoop.
Here for like 10 minutes, bro. You just never let me back in.
Dude, it usually gives
I know
me
it didn't tell you that. I know it didn't tell you, otherwise you would have let me in. But I'm just telling you, I have been in the backstage for a while. I just left and came back, so it would cue you, I guess.
I guess, yeah, it didn't pop up on the screen. It didn't chirp or anything like it normally does.
Yeah, I know it does that. I think it just does it because of latency or whatever. It just doesn't connect right or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
What do you think of the hairdo?
Your hairdo? What am I supposed to say about that?
I don't know. You
like mine? You like mine?
Yeah, I love it, dude. It's much better than mine.
Okay, then, yeah, that's about what I think about yours, I guess. I don't know.
No, earlier I got it up there.
It looks like a mott, but I mean, grow it out. Why not? I mean, you still got most of it. I mean, shit. Why not, right?
I got a spot back there in the back.
Yeah, but see, you got like 30%. You got like maybe 60% more hair on the top of your head than I do. Mine goes bald all the way back to here, but pretty much. So, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And it's thin. It's thick right here, but it's thin all the way back. It's just bad, right?
Yeah.
So at least you got most of it. I'd do something with it. I'd dye it green or something, or perm it or something. Do something fun with it, man. Why not?
No, there's a Jono, and I think Jim's in here too.
You know what you're starting to look like?
Who?
What's that stupid cartoon one about the science fiction story about the little boy and his grandpa who goes jumping through space? I forget what it's called again.
Oh, you mean Rick and Morty?
Yeah, you remind me of fucking the grandpa in that show. Because you're skinny and lanky and you got like that kind of sprouty shit on the top of your. Yeah, you kind of remind me of. Not really look like him, but I'm just saying you're built like him anyway.
Built.
So go take what you want out of that.
Yeah, I'll try.
I've been trying to split this log for like 2 years. Well, a year and a half anyway. And I finally got the fucker split, and I'm like all happy about it. I'm over here jumping up and down because I got to get this log to split. Like, yes, I'm gonna get this fucker out of the yard now.
Holy crap! The small things, dude.
Well, it's just a thing. Like when you get a log that's got the wrong bumps in the wrong places, and you just can't split it by hand because it's just too fucking hard. And then when it finally dries out enough and you can finally split it, it's like, yes.
That's why eventually when I had a wood stove and I heat the house with that thing, I got a hydraulic splitter. So
I've got one of those, but it takes way too long to use that. And it doesn't work on these kind of logs anyway. It won't work on this big of a log or logs like this. It only works on the ones that can split easy. That's the only thing it's made for.
I'm not growing
all that really small to make it work on that thing. That's the thing. I don't like that. I can split 18 to 24 inch piece of wood by hand without using a splitter, and it takes me less time actually in the long run because I have to sit there and change the little bumpers and change the fucking distance. It's a pain in the fucking ass, bro. Even the hydraulic one with the air compressor working, it still doesn't fucking pump fast enough. I have to keep slowing down.
Keep mine running, dude. It kept it well oiled.
Yeah. The stuff, even if it's not dry, if it's cut just the right amount and there's not a lot of knots in there, I can split the shit way faster without that splitter.
You know, I just crank it up, put it on the wedge, and go.
I know you would think that, but you gotta back it out. You gotta pump it, and then you gotta back it out. It's a pain in the ass because it's got a big crank thing that makes it work. Get what I'm saying? It's just basically a ram, a little crank that turns a ram and it just forces it down the line. Anyway.
God bless you too, Justin. And I'm not growing a mustache 30. I'm sorry, dude.
No mustache. You sure? Why not?
Yeah. I'm not going to do it, dude. It ain't going to happen.
Corn stashes rock, though.
Dude, I've had them. It's just like hard to maintain all the time. You got to keep it combed. You got to keep the food out of it. You got to keep it trimmed, or it's in your mouth all the time.
Check this thing out. Ever do these before?
No, hold on. Wait till Jim gets done. We'll look at it. Okay, hold on. He'll be done in a second. What are you showing me anyway?
Huh?
What are you trying to show me? Here, just I'll pause this here. Show me what you got to show me. I gotta maximize you.
It's a big fucker. That's what I call
Oh
it.
yeah, I've had those. Yeah,
The fucker. I call this a fucker because
it ain't a fucker,
you
dude.
can fuck somebody really bad with it. And it's really fucking loud. My neighbor hates it, doesn't he?
Are you hollering at your neighbor? Holy
I
shit!
would hate to put my ear through that hole right there.
Yeah.
There's a hole right there. If you were
I
to
know
put
it
your ear right to that hole and I were to slam this thing down, it would literally blow your eardrum right through your brain, right out the other side. That's
Well,
how loud it is.
I don't want that done. No, but
It's
that's just a
ungodly
wedge, dude. It's
loud.
not a fucker.
No, look, see how it fucks itself, see? It's
Yeah,
fucking
I know.
fucker.
But it's a wedge.
It's a fucker.
It's all. It's a slide
And if
wedge.
you were to put that on anybody's forehead and push down on it, it would be in half in seconds. Trust me.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
sharp.
that's super. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Captain, how you doing, man?
It'll go through like big ass fucking log. It'll go straight down through it like you wouldn't believe. I couldn't believe how well it worked. I was like, holy shit. You can do this by hand faster than that fucking big ass thing can? Yes, you can.
Hey,
It
you
had a
know
bigger
what I
ram
got
on top of
outside?
it. If it had a bigger ram, I could go right down through this big ass shit too.
Hmm.
It's not heavy.
I got about 4 inches of snow outside now.
Do you really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard everybody's been talking about it. It's been cold here and it's been raining, but it hasn't snowed, thank God. It never does in this area though, thank God. That's why I moved out here. Nah,
Is that why you moved out there? That's the only
no,
reason you
not
moved out
really. I got drug out here by my mother is what I got.
there. Mama said come and you went. All right, I'm getting you off screen. People get tired of looking at you.
You want to watch me fuck something else?
We don't want to see that, no.
There's somebody out there that does.
I'm going to go over the Death Star today. The SR-72, SR-71. I want to get all their specs. I think I got some videos with them, some of their specs in them. Drunk Debunk's doing like supposedly high altitude flights, calling it space flights and stuff. Yeah, I know. You wouldn't be able to fly without a medium up there. Hey Marty, your kids are gonna be a problem. You know they got that from Doc Brown and Back to the Future. My question is, why do they need a specific gravity meter to actually do the real work with, compared to
What meter? What meter?
There's a specific gravity meter that only relates to the liquid or fluid mediums in the air that actually determines, gives you a better determination of gravity.
We had a brand new bridge for sale, guys.
So I think they just took relative density and they use that, and they just add the G in, just like we always say. What they do. So this is what they're supposedly measuring to when they're going into these SR-72 flights and stuff. Everything's measured to gravity. It's kind of lumpy looking, if you want to ask the truth. Hey man, how you doing, dude? Shanking the globe lately? Yes, it's very stationary. Never been proven to be moving. We only observe the motions of the heavens. It's the only thing we can observe. There's Jim. Hey, Jim. More blurry stars. Yep, that's what we got. Now, they're blurry because they're passing through a medium, dude. That's just all that is. At the end of the day, you see all the results of the actual star's location, all the stuff that passes through to get to you. And that was the way it was made. This is what you see in the sky. I still want to look through Lucifer. I don't think they released any of that stuff. Maybe I'll type that in and see if I can find any binocular telescope work from Lucifer. Oh yeah, Shane and Alan are doing real good work, dude. I'm sure you've been over in the Discord, or at least over on their channel watching the stuff, Mac. They just prove a lot of globe flings on the regular. The inclusion of that star is not really the inclusion of a star. It's the refracted inclusion of a star that you can actually still see. No, wait a minute. You can't even see it then. They got to make their model work somehow or another. And it is just a half-ass model to begin with. It's got lots of holes in it. And if we debunk the radius of the Earth, you debunk the gravity of the Earth, because that's one of the calculations they add into the gravitational constant, is the full radius and the density of it. So if the black swans debunk the radius, the gravity has been debunked too. It'd be a different rate, a much larger gravity. Yeah. What does Galilean have to do with it? Well, Newton's gravitational constant is just a blanket statement in itself. And all their mountain experiments were nonsense, dude. Still are. Yeah. Gravimeters. Oh, now I got 2 phone lines now. Kind of cool to have 2 phones. Nobody has this number for this other phone. Oh, that guy, yeah. I told you about the guy that's going sailing. You want to get up? You want to join the crew? He wants to go sail in the South Pacific and explore, something like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, he's going to prove they're hiding land. I think that's what he's got the idea of. You know, we all think the same thing. I think they're hiding lands down there in the South Pacific. Let's grab his link. Mac, where's your link? Looks like Caveman put some more links in too. He's playing with the blue marble again. I see the link. Yeah, it's Sarosa.
Who was?
Documentary he did. Captain Gun 82. John Thor put the video out. That looks cool. We'll take a look at that next. Yeah. We can see all your junk, Ryan.
Thank you. My homeless tent right there. No, I'm just kidding.
It's your homeless camp in the back.
It wasn't on fort, but I got to tear it down soon. I'm gonna clean it up right here. This was all piled up with shit a little while ago, and I just cleaned it all up a little while ago. That would have hurt if it would have hit you in the forehead.
I've hit myself with a maul before a couple of times. Not in the forehead, though.
I don't know if I wanted to try that, though.
You get those like 25-pound mauls. It helps split wood a lot easier than an axe.
Sometimes I do.
You got a maul?
No, I said sometimes I have 25-pound balls. Other times I don't.
A 25-pound ball. It has nothing to do with the size of a maul, dude.
No, this is a 8-pound sledge splitter. That's what it is.
This documentary is an
I don't know if I'd want to swing that one. That would fucking be that'd be heavy fast.
This documentary is an hour and a half long, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to watch it all?
I don't think I'm going to watch it all. No. By that time, what's
well,
today?
You could, but yeah.
That's going to take up the whole show.
Yeah, I think it.
I'm going to start this documentary by me.
I'm not going to take the whole show up with it. It's a mind-blowing documentary by Captain Gunn.
In a few claims that I'll back up with undeniable evidence.
Oh, this is what
I've located lands that have been hidden from us. Multiple massive land masses that are beyond our known world. Fully charted and I have the means to set sail in multiple vessels that I own once I've secured crews, including a second captain. Let me show you what no one else is capable of. If watched in full context, what I've got to show you will blow your mind repeatedly, including that the hidden lands that surround us are fully built out with old world architecture and infrastructure, just like how we see all around us. That the flat earth model is purposely incorrect and designed to deceive you. There is no ice wall, and I'll prove it. Everything you think you know about Tartaria is wrong. I figured out the entirety of the last great reset of humanity worldwide, and it only ended in 1860. Undeniably proven and fully explaining the mud flood aftermath. Australia and its natives are not what you think they are, and that our entire recent timeline has been fabricated. After decades of personal research down the rabbit hole, dividing truth from sheer conspiracy and fantasy, following a spiritual path that's been guided, I've took all the relevant individual research subjects and I've pieced them together. Not just put subjects.
How you doing, sir?
What's up, Roger?
No. I was thinking about doing flight last time. I wanted to pull up the SR-71 and the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are. I don't think they got the Death Star put together yet. They say they have.
Death Star, yeah.
The SR-72. It's called the Death Star.
Death Star.
Death Star.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, if we were flying on a globe in that thing, the speeds they say it is a Death Star.
Yeah. You'd have to turn right constantly. You'd be able to go straight for a short period, but I don't think those things are made strong enough to take insane. They're more something to fly level and keep it at that speed and not do. I think one of them crashed.
Yeah,
I think I saw a video a long time ago. One of them that had like a little mini plane attached to the back of it, and what they were going to do was to bring that thing up. Then deep, I can find the video. I remember it. It's an old one though. It's an old video.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that whole. I've already seen this documentary. Guys, if you want to watch the documentary, guys, go watch it.
Yeah, throw the link in the chat.
Mad Mac already did. So
hold on. One of them crashed and killed a few people. The Blackbird.
I would not doubt it at all.
They had one where they were like, it had a little pod that came off the back of it, like a little mini plane.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing went up and it got into the wash from the front of the plane, and it went up and then it dunked right down. It just got sucked right into the back of it, crashed. And I think one of the guys died in the air and some guy died of dead. I think that one of the guys drowned or something. When one of them something happened. I forget what it was.
I know we're watching Ryan's back end. He's got it.
Yeah, what the hell's he doing?
That's it. That would tear the living shit out of it. That speed, the wash would be incredible, man. Wouldn't it?
Well, that void it creates as it goes along.
Once you hit the surrounding air, it's going to pop.
Well, I mean, if you've ever been on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You're going pretty good, and somebody fucking whistles by you.
You feel it.
You're getting the push as it goes by you, so it pushes you out. Then as that thing goes by you, you're automatically correcting for the air that's pushing by you. So you're automatically correcting it, which means you just try to sit yourself up, and then as it goes by you, it then leans over to the left real hard. If it was passing you on the left.
That vacuum sucks into it. D-man, where'd he go? Ooh, no. He was in mid-sentence, too. We'll wait for him. Give him a second. I make sure I didn't kick him out, but I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Right in mid-sentence. Right in mid-sentence. You just pop. You got caught in that wake. Huh? D-man, talk to me, man. Oh, I think he's having technical difficulties. He's probably swapping over his computer. What is a Dirty Ketchup talking about? Slipping on a Twinkie?
It's not as slippery as a banana, though.
Yeah, but they actually have banana flavor too. You know that, right? They put banana flavor in a Twinkie.
That's
It's
great.
supposed to be banana flavored, I think.
I don't think so. I think they have banana flavored ones, but I don't think they are. They're just vanilla.
I think they do.
But nice try though, Roger. Nice try to you're trying to create some more Mandela effects. I know.
No. It's already a Mandela effect. You didn't know that?
No, it's not. Come on.
Yeah, it is.
Not such a thing as a fucking Mandela effect.
Yeah, well, they call them Mandela effects, so we got to go with it.
Call it what you want. Just because some dumbass in the newspaper misspelled it doesn't mean it changed.
No, D-Man's back again. All right.
I'm just saying, like, come on. It might affect.
D-Man, you ever heard of the banana Twinkie?
Hell yeah.
What, like banana cream Twinkie?
No. It's like just add flavor to banana flavored in the Twinkie.
Oh, probably, yeah. They had chocolate. They had chocolate, like chocolate dipped ones. I remember back in the day.
And now I got something to ask Siri. Hold on.
And here you go.
Huh?
I mean, it's pure poison.
Oh yeah, it's all sugar, man. Sugar and corn syrup and
saturated fat and seed oils and all kinds of other shit.
Yeah, but it tastes damn good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the half-life of a Twinkie is?
Oh, it's probably longer than me and you.
It's like 75 years or some stupid shit, bro.
Well, dude,
it won't taste the same, but it'll look exactly the same as when it was first made.
Yeah.
After like 75 years.
If there's ever like an apocalyptic event, just stock up on Twinkies.
Not saying it would taste good, but yeah, I guess you could survive. Lots of calories in that stuff, bitch.
What'd you stick it there, D-Man, in the back?
Oh, that's that SR-71 crash video. I found it.
Oh, cool.
That's the one that has the little plane that comes off of it. You can see as it comes up and gets into the wash from the void it's creating, and as it goes up, as soon as it hits like just out of that void, it dumps right down into it. It's like, yep.
Dude, I was looking up gravity meters last night, D-Man.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, God almighty. They think that's a measurement to something. I have no idea why.
Gravity meter. Yeah.
The one that actually uses refraction, that was like $75 for that meter, dude. The refraction is the gravity. It's the refractive gravity meter. All we need is parallax to add to it, and it'll be.
I looked up a lot of info on the SR-71. They said that the operating ceiling on that is right around 100K.
Ooh, wow!
It's 100,000, but I mean, at the speed they're going 100 at 100,000 feet and going that fast.
Yeah. The what was it?
What's the drop rate at certain speed? I heard.
What's the drop rate at their speed, man? It's got to be like centimeters. You have to go down. You'd have to declinate to elevation to keep it over a ball at that speed.
You can't steer when you're going that fast. You have to go in a straight line. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
if
I
you
know that.
If you change direction at all, you'll tear the plane in half.
Yeah, but I mean, the lift effect it works horizontally. It doesn't work with the curve. So,
it could work with the curve, but yeah, we all know it doesn't. It doesn't need to.
Well, it's never in the data. They don't. They just said it compensates.
I'm just saying, a plane could fly over a curved surface. They fly over mountains, don't they? I mean, it's ridiculous to say that they couldn't, right?
I don't think topography has anything to do with it.
Well, it should though. Like when you're above the Earth, if you were really in a space station above the Earth, why wouldn't you see the mountains? Yeah. Why wouldn't you see the detail of the three dimensions of the Earth? You know why? Because we all know when you get a certain height above the Earth, everything just turns like to a gray color. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't have any color.
Well, do you understand
so
how
far away from it? It just refracts all the light in different color codes, and you can't tell what it is.
Well, no, like they're flying level, but I mean the whole point of the story is you understand that it doesn't drop in elevation.
No, but what I'm saying though is that when if you were able to watch a person standing on the ground as you flew away completely, and they were able to keep up with the plane, so you could see what they look like from the ground, you just watch them get smaller and smaller until you couldn't see them anymore.
Yeah, it's called
and you get to where you can't see even houses anymore because you fly over shitloads of them and you never see any of them. It's because you get too far up, you can't see them. Light doesn't travel like you think it does. You know what I'm saying? And when any guy who's in an airplane or has flown an airplane a few times knows that. things just get, they get a certain distance, about 32,000 feet, everything gets so far away, you can't tell what it is. You can't tell what's a city and what's not, really, most of the time, unless it's a really big city and it's in the middle of the desert somewhere, like, Nevada's that way. But I mean, there's whole areas of the Midwest that you don't see nothing but just looks like trees. You know what I mean? Until you get low to the ground, then you're like, oh shit, there are houses down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
D-Man,
how come your avatar in the back is different than the avatar out here?
I have no. Well, because I can't tell
different. Because when you use a phone and you use your computer, it'll give you a different.
It's different.
It gives you a different.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same account.
I don't know why it keeps cutting me off.
It separates.
I might have
probably
to.
the restream.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps cutting me off, and there's no reason why.
Yeah, I don't know why neither.
Last night it did it for a little while. I think it was the internet connection last night. It was sucky.
It is. That's all it is.
Yeah, but with the same idea of turning would be the same idea with curvature. Dude.
Yeah, you'd have
At
to
that
follow
speed,
it.
you would have to follow that hard. But they say the gyro supposedly adjusts for a curvature. Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, unless there's tons more space, they could do a really just a slight curve and just go around.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they would have to still actually arc for it. I guess they think the rate that they fall, that's what they do, but you have to maintain a speed to maintain lift and keep the horizon there. Yeah. It's just a claim that gyros follow gravity. It doesn't. It's set.
For gravity. Yeah. They follow wherever you spin them at, whatever lividity you spin them at.
Yeah, well, I've looked for the data on that. Ryan, I've looked for the data on it. I've looked for the gyro data that actually, and I can't find it, dude. And the people who make the claim, they have it.
Does that surprise you?
What? No, it doesn't.
There probably was lots of literature for it, but I bet you just got erased or it got dumped because the government didn't want us to see it.
I got people that took 2 or 3 gyros, and they say they claim they can build like a basic black box system, and they can show where the curvature is. But they've actually put the papers in.
I bet they can, Roger.
Dude, you're not listening to me. You're cut me off. I've looked for their papers on their claim, and when you go to their website on their,
not on there. Yeah.
It's not there. It's nowhere.
Still talking about they're going to do it. Yeah, they're going to do the experiment.
And to say like with Bob Nodell's gyro
experiment, scientists said they could do it, and the experts said that it was possible, and the media and the government said this.
It's actual data, dude. It's just a claim. They say they could show the data, but when you go look for the data,
but data is a bunch of 1, 2 fucking zeros, Roger. Like, how is that going to fucking help me?
Yeah, but you can analyze the data, compare it. You would see the gyro tilting. It doesn't pivot. With the curve of the Earth. That's what I'm looking for, dude.
Really? Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that because otherwise airplanes wouldn't use them. And I've heard of planes like there have been an issue with it when they were flying. They had to land in order to reset it. I've never heard of them trying to fly without one. So don't give me that bullshit that suddenly they're not using. That's bullshit. They might have a better way of doing it now, but it's definitely still a gyroscopic type of deal. It's not.
Well, even the gyros they use on their instruments are actually caged and set horizontal.
I mean, how do you test pressure or movement forward and backward? Well, you would fill a cylinder with water, right? And then you'd measure the water on the end. So when every time you took off, then it would slosh to the back, and you could kind of measure like how much slosh you got depending on how much energy you put into it, right? Like there's ways you could do that.
That's why D-Man says get yourself a couple level some gauges and go take a flight.
Yeah, that's it, and you'll see.
That's all you need.
No, but I'm saying the things that are inside your phone that tell you that your phone's moving in which direction are just little cylinders. They're little servos that just move freely.
Yeah, I know what servos are.
Like,
we're talking
about on magnetic field or whatever, to where they can just kind of move, and then whenever you.
We're talking about like pitch data.
Pitch data.
Oh yeah. Well, your phone has pitch data too. Your phone has pitch data.
I mean, you could do it with a bubble level if you didn't even trust the electronics. You could just make a little bubble level.
It's more reliable, actually.
You can make a simple bubble level.
I think for the dumb people, you'd probably have to have someone at the place where you're going to land and at the place where you took off. And then while you're in the air, you'd be measuring the lividity at the same time to where all three of those would remain level. And then you could prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt, there's no way that you were changing any direction in any angle.
I mean,
otherwise, they're just going to argue. Even if you did that, they'd probably still argue. But
yeah, I mean, but it's that simple that if you're going to follow a shape, well, you're going to follow the shape. Your body's going to change with it. That's it. You go up a hill, your upper body leans back because you're fixed into it.
Yeah, It's your equilibrium, right? It's the fluid in your brain.
Natural.
And you can demonstrate that with the levels too.
Yeah,
You can get
simple.
meters actually.
You have to follow the shape. You're not just going to go stay perfectly flat and follow a shape. It's just not going to happen. If you're level, you're flying level, driving level. What do you call it? Traveling across the ocean level.
Yeah.
Well, naturally, if the surface is level and you stay level the whole time, well, it's fucking flat.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You didn't tilt down or tilt back like you were going over a hill or going down a hill. You didn't have to tilt yourself forward to stand straight. We
need an undersea plane that'll go high, really, really fucking high, so we can get up higher and get better pictures that they can't get.
Jay Tolan goes 40,000 feet.
Yeah, but
that's a normal plane. I'm talking about building something that you'd have to fly from that altitude. You would have to fly it from there and go even higher because your plane would survive it.
Yeah.
Dude, all you need really to tell you the truth is get you a marine sextant.
Weather balloon kit.
Yeah.
Isn't there like an altitude where your plane won't fly anymore, where it'll start to like lose altitude? I've heard that exists. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard it.
Do you know how a marine sextant works?
Yeah, it's basically a weighted ball inside of.
It has a bubble level in it, dude.
Well, yeah, of course it does. But
Yeah,
I'm saying it's basically a weighted piece that's in there so that it keeps it upright at all times, no matter which direction the boat goes. It stays straight up, so that way the actual compass works. That way,
tells you the degrees.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work because you have to keep it perfectly level. So otherwise, that's what they call that a 3D level or whatever you want to call it. It's still, you can call it a compass if you want, but
my boss Brian we would set 400 traps in the ocean, right? 5 miles out, send 400 traps out there. That's literally what we pull a day. 200 in, 200 out, rebait every day, right? He would, you know how he would find them? He would write down the position from the compass.
Draw a line, right?
And he would write them down in a notebook, and that's how he knew where they were. Okay, with no electronics at all. He could pinpoint exactly where he set every one of those 400 sets. And we would go out there with no electronics whatsoever. And he would just
I thought basically the little buoys basically is what you follow, right? You just learn to find them.
Yeah, he had his buoy, but he would write the position down just by looking.
Yeah, I watched the show. I don't know if you know that.
My wife watched the show.
Well, I'm just saying that's the only way I know about it because I've never been fished like that. But if you have, that's awesome, dude. That's crazy work.
The last year that we were there, they by law made everybody switch over to that electronic. What was it, Lowrance or whatever that system?
Yeah,
they were using.
yeah, right.
And the last year,
the
last year I was there, he had to change it over and was bitching about how.
You know why, right? Because the typical stuff, it just doesn't work.
Well, those things work off beacons, right?
Yeah, they work off of beacons, and it's also a like distress thing. It has a distress thing in it. It's tied in through the system.
Well, you follow trade. You follow the trade routes, is what you do.
Well, I mean, they would do that. The state was doing that so they could track how many times you were out there a day, how many pots you would pull.
Right. Of course.
Then after they got all the data for the year, they then changed the amount of pots that you could throw in the ocean. So they went from 2,200 to 1,400 in 1 year.
So you got to go out there. God.
Yeah, cut my boss's shit down, and then he had to go and work the winter in that boat. Oh, dude, fucking sucks being out there in November on the ocean. 6 miles out. It's like, fuck this shit. This sucks.
It's literally like icicles floating on the surface of the ocean out there.
Yeah, like nothing
you
like being
in the water and you freeze to death in like 3 minutes or less.
Yeah. There's nothing like being on the Atlantic. It's 5:30 in the morning in the winter. It's like, yeah, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
I got out of there quick.
I'd rather be working down inside the ship where it's still warm, bro.
Oh, it was horrible. Everybody's in a shit mood.
Hands be frozen and shit dried out. Your fingers would be all fucked. Oh man.
So you boys ready for some real drama?
Yeah,
right.
Watch us.
Well up, dude.
I saw this years ago. Just press the speaker and it'll mute it.
Take it down.
You don't
I
need
don't think it's copyrighted though.
Is it about to hit the dome?
Watch now. It hits the wash. It hits the wash. Watch it.
As soon as it gets out behind the
Yeah.
It's in the void right there, and then as it comes up, you'll see it nose out.
Looks fake as shit.
It's like, oh shit, it's in the wash.
You got to think about the camera they had to hang on.
The afterburner or what? Or was that the plane that just went bye-bye?
That's the afterburner. You know what? It was.
Okay.
It's a little plane they're launching off the back of it. Watch.
Oh yeah, I understand that. That's the way they ought to launch their space shuttle, but they don't.
Imagine trying to film that, dude. How hard that would be. Oh, what? Oh, it's disintegrating.
See ya.
Yep. Hope you got out of there.
I don't know, dude.
Nope.
The speed.
No, they didn't.
Makes me wonder how many men have given their lives that NASA never even mentioned their names.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fuck, dude. There's probably hundreds of thousands of people that just fucking laying out in the desert somewhere.
The
Soviets
Soviets had so many people get their when they were they were trying to set stuff up, manned rockets and stuff in the early days. The shit was blowing up every week.
Yeah, D, I'm gonna turn you up. You're low, dude.
I'm low. All right.
I heard that they had radio controlled stuff back then too, but I don't know if it's true. I mean, if we had cell phones that worked in the 20s, then why wouldn't we have it in the war? I mean, come on.
Here, I'll fix the auto gain control.
Not saying that they had enough towers to actually make it work. Right. The system worked. You know what I'm saying? They just would have to fly out. I mean, they just fly planes out there to get the distances right. They keep the plane in that area, and then they can use it to communicate. Right? Isn't that how comms work in the military? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You go from plane to plane to plane to plane. You bounce it off. That's how you keep communications when you're out in the nowhere.
Were they dropping those so-called rocket planes off the bottom of?
I want to talk about buoys that they leave in the air. They're little helium balloons. They just pop out all over the place.
I'm talking about when they test out those semi-rocket jets that they were like AJ Foyt and other test pilots were dropping.
Oh yeah. The ones they were towing. Yeah.
At high altitude. Yeah.
How's that better?
That's what's funny is when they're testing those planes, you can tell those planes are real because they actually test them, right? But you notice that you never see any testing on any of the space shuttle stuff, even though they claim that they're leaving the universe. They're going out into space with it, right? Whatever.
No, the first one I want to the next one I'll get is the Dark Star. They made a documentary about it. I think it's mostly fiction.
Grateful Dead had a song called Dark Star.
Yeah, imagine they did. The Grateful Dead's got a song about everything, don't they?
Yeah, they kind of do, don't they? It's a good point.
Look at this thing. I think this is like a clip from the Maverick. You guys watch that?
Yeah, that movie. Yeah. He does like an impossible mission.
I don't understand why you'd have square, no airlines.
It's because of radar. That's why.
Yeah,
it has to do with radar. But that's the only thing. That's the only way I could explain it. I really don't know exactly how it works. I just know that that's what they say.
Well, jet. I've never seen I've always seen round jet engines, not
square.
Well,
the inside of there, the jet is round. It's
just deflected.
Itself is squared because it gives you better balance and more control of the ship.
Probably multiples side by side.
Then you don't get that shimmy where one's spinning different than the other, and it shifts because it rotates the plane and it can fucking break it in half when you're going that fast.
Yeah, but it looks cooler that way.
Real quick.
Have you ever flown a foam plane and like pushed it too far, or like threw it really, really hard, or the wind hit it and it just broke in half? That's what happens to planes.
That's the SR-71's official ceiling is listed at 85,000 feet. But I've read that
it goes 140,000 though. Don't
it says a predecessor of the SR-71 achieved the max cruising altitude of 90,000 during a flight test in 65.
We're
I can't imagine 3 times the height that you fly in an airplane. I mean, I've been in an airplane plenty of times, and I can't imagine being 3 times that height. That's just insane. Like,
you
know what I mean? Like,
gentlemen, hold on. We're graced with the presence of a great debater. You know who's here?
Oh,
a masturbator.
Yeah, he uses pi as a logo.
I have no clue who it is.
That's Brenda.
Well, no, hi Brenda. Good to see
hi
you.
Brenda. Well disguised there, but yeah, hi.
Well disguised. How do you disguise something like that? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Is it possible? Hey, D-Man, can you hide yourself, bro? Like if you're in public, like if you're in a crowd, can you just like hide against the wall and nobody sees you? Probably not, huh?
No, pretty much not. Well,
I can't do it either, bro. I'm just way too fucking big, bro. Like people see me coming a mile away, bro.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna come in and school us on how gravity really works.
Oh,
I understand.
I probably talked to 60 people today.
Holy crap!
I couldn't hide if I wanted to.
Only 60? Well, you've been on Discord all day, huh?
Jeez, no. The work.
Yeah, we don't live on the internet all the time, dude.
Oh, I didn't say you did. I was just curious.
Neither does he. right, here we go. Let's check out the Dark Star SR-72. It's gonna be awesome. I bet you the music's copyrighted too.
Oh yeah.
Is the U.S. Air Force about to get the world's fastest ever aircraft
Ooh, look at the
with
suit.
Mach 6.0 speeds, christened the SR-72 Dark Star and built by Lockheed Martin? And if so, then when? It's challenging to provide authentic answers, even though the U.S. Air Force has been on record as saying that it's tested potential future
That's not true.
generations of combat aircraft
No
that
shit.
could see light in 2030.
Well, we're almost there. It's like they're going to go to
Conflicting
the moon
reports
before
exist
then.
on the subject. While some point out the program's unavoidable delays, others say that the SR-72 effort is making due
Look at that
progress
thing, dude.
and will be operational sooner rather than later. According to a recent Aviation Week report, a classified Lockheed Martin program that involves a highly complex design and systems integration went another $45 million over budget in the second quarter of
How much again? $45 million. Wow.
No big deal, though. I
No,
mean,
sorry.
you blow 52,
It's chicken scratch,
54 million a day on NASA, so fuck, I mean, that's nothing. To drop
Oh,
in the fucking.
they probably spend that in a day at NASA.
That's what I mean. Yeah, every day, 54 minutes, supposedly based on the 2012 or whatever record, whatever it was the last time we checked. I don't think they have much of. They don't have much left now. They're funding SpaceX now, aren't they?
You know, SpaceX is NASA, dude. To be honest
I know
with you.
that. I know that. You know that. But I'm saying the world is going to doubt that. So we'll
Well,
just
no,
say it.
Elon just uses all their old platforms to develop technology. That's what he
Well,
does.
of course, he uses all the same fucking shitty ass movie technology they used in fucking King Kong and Godzilla, and they fucking try to fool the fucking masses, and it works. It works great for all those dumbasses who really believe in stupid shit. But
I think Flats had discovered they had 12 different FX studios with NASA.
I'm sure there's probably 50 other ones that they don't even use that are just waiting for whoever needs to use them.
Well, Disney
There's
uses
not a
them
lot of
on-
demand for it because they make a lot of money off selling you the idea that you're paying for a satellite. Fucking bullshit. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
People all over the world pay for internet thinking it's satellite. It's not.
I think Geocentric actually found all the transmitters that Starlink uses in the southern oceans to get signals out. He did a whole show on it. Pretty
Well,
cool.
see, they have fiber optic cables that go through the oceans. They don't really
Yeah.
need to fucking do all that. They don't need
Yeah, but I
telephone
mean-
poles, bro.
What they're doing, they're broadcasting to the lower half, or what they call the lower half of the globe, as it is, or the
That
southern
proves
ocean.
that they don't know what the sky is and does, right? Because they still use fucking hardline. It's like,
Well, yeah, for you to get like supposedly satellite TV, they got to broadcast it from somewhere. You know,
well, what they'll tell you is they claim that they beam it down from the satellite and they just bounce it around to your area because satellite can't go around in every area. So what they do is they bounce it and then it focuses somehow this thing that sits on the
well,
on the
that's, why,
top up there.
that's why I'm talking about. They got
To you
the
somehow,
relay
but
stations.
that doesn't make any sense because everybody points it in the same exact direction, exactly towards the east. Everybody does. It's the exact same direction. If it's off a little bit, it doesn't work. So explain to me if that's really true. How the fuck can you prove it? You can't. You could just eliminate the spaceship part of it, and it would still work just fine over the ground. You wouldn't need to fucking beam it from the air, would you? No, it doesn't make any sense.
Where are you?
From tower to tower, bro. It's like fucking stupid.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We found the relay stations where they broadcast most of this shit.
Right.
They did a whole show.
Yeah, you can basically see that just boom, 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 boom. They just shoot down the line. The repeater.
Brian, let me ask you a question. Where are you?
He's in California.
No, I mean,
My backyard.
oh,
Yeah, that's next to his tweaker hut. Yeah.
Hey, man, I never said I wasn't a tweaker. Fuck you guys, man.
Okay, thanks. Love you too.
It's just because I look like, I know I dress like a homeless guy and I look like homeless. I don't fucking care what you think. I really don't. This is just how I
Go
live.
clean your ass up. Go put
Mostly
us through
it's wood,
the
but yeah, my yard's a disaster because I'm too lazy to clean it up. It is what it is.
I don't have a yard.
Exactly. Some people don't have a fucking house or a yard. So fuck you. Deal with it.
Apartment, dude.
Right. You don't have all that responsibility. So.
Let's get back to the Dark Star. Yeah.
My wife bitches at me every day about it. She looks out in the backyard. She goes, "When are you gonna clean that fucking shit up?" I'm like, I guess whenever I fucking get a brand new back and I can
that's
do
it.
it all.
Potty at Ryan's.
No, yeah.
Cleaning
So-
his yard potty.
Guys,
I
I
can
want to
clean
point
it all
out,
up, but it would take me months. You know what I mean?
I'm going to point out we're looking at a model right here, aren't we? Look at this thing.
I like models, pretty ones anyway.
That's the only way they can do half this shit.
Of 2024.
It's 2024.
Lockheed's quarterly filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission puts the firm's total losses associated with this single shadowy program up to some $335 million since 2022. The filings went on to postulate that losses may continue to accrue as the company faces advanced procurement costs moving forward.
I don't get the design though. What you see the front
However,
windows on
Sandbox News, which claims to be covering the secretive development of SR-72, argues that in this modern era of bureaucratic oversight and extended design cycles, it seems unlikely that Lockheed Martin would have gone all in on fielding the SR-72 without some pretty conclusive evidence from the Air Force that it'd eventually step in and foot the bill.
Right. Exactly.
Sandbox News has concluded that while
real.
the SR-72 effort appears to have continued to progress under the classified veil since early 2018, word of these losses, combined with the rapid expansion of Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facilities and personnel, all point toward the production of a new classified aircraft.
I think we got one right here next to me in Colorado Springs. It's a big Lockheed Martin Skunk Works base.
Got one here, I think, too.
And I'll do a live stream. I see if I can get into the. They got a big fence around the place, you know, and we got the guard shacks. And
I wouldn't advise you doing anything stupid like that, Roger. People have disappeared before. But some of that stuff is just not smart to do, bro.
Yeah.
Spelunking in like old mines and stuff, that's another thing. Don't do that stupid shit, bro. It's just not smart. You're going to end up stuck in a hole upside down somewhere and dead, bro. That's not cool.
I'll be doing exclusive, man. I'd have a claim to fame. I got video.
Black man will tell you, don't swim in the ocean. The fucking sharks will eat you.
Yeah.
Will he?
I had to say it. Sorry.
Don't think my battleship, dude. I don't have to worry about it.
It's true though. You have too much. You need to active. They'll tell you,
likely
no, swim in the ocean, man. There's sharks in there.
Yeah, I've been swimming in the ocean before. I've come really close to a tiger shark one time.
Hey, that's where they filmed.
I've never been close to a shark. I don't think I've ever. I've seen one in a tank before, like at SeaWorld. That's as close as I want to get. I'm good. Not getting in the water with the damn shark. I'm good.
Okay, D-Man, where they film here?
I have no clue. I was trying to crack a joke and say, "Oh, hey, it's the background of the moon landings."
No, it's the moon landing set. Look at it. Yeah. This same warehouse. They filmed the moon landing
Filled
set.
it with concrete dust and screens in the back.
No, I think it was higher. Had a higher ceiling, didn't it? Thought it was like a.
Didn't they change the
banger for like?
Didn't they take the original shit and change the background and then make it so that you could literally see the beams and stuff in the back? You could see on the back of it.
I think there was one. Yeah, there was
contrast to something. They went and fucked with the photos and the contrast on the.
Oh, you really? They used that primitive of technology that they just blurred it out.
They literally just changed the contrast.
What you had to do was just change the contrast, and you could see the beam.
Because it was projection. Because it was all projected.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, they used the back screen.
They've gotten better at that, dude. Like with the shuttle, what they did was they took the producer there. He actually made an announcement. He's like, we could do this. He got shower curtains and hung it over the top of the pool so they could project the sky on it. You know.
Who was the guy they were in the hotel and Bert Zabrell walked up to him and he said, "Hey, you're the guy." Yeah. Did the same thing where they put the shutter over the window and he was all smiling. He was like, "Really?"
Yeah, really.
It's like, yeah, really, you really did it.
Yeah. So what happens if you get a leak?
Dead.
Yeah, it would kill you instantly. But they're flying up there willy nilly, dude.
No, not faster than instantly. Like instant. Like fractions of a second, your entire body would vaporize if it existed. That is.
Wait, no, it would
literally you would vaporize before your body got to the hole. Let's put it that way. That's how quickly it would happen.
Rip you apart. It wouldn't be like your molecules fall apart. You know?
Yeah, it would take you. Yeah, that little tiny hole would fit your whole body through that little tiny hole in a matter of a split second. The whole entire body would just out that hole that quick, boom, like an explosion.
Yeah, we got a news clip from China that said that they had to shut down because they had a micrometeor puncture the Chinese space station, but we never found any.
I heard they plugged it up with duct tape in their finger.
Yeah,
right?
Put a piece of gum in there.
No problem. Yeah,
yeah, I would like to see the panic on the on a space station if never mind, it's not going to happen. Anyways,
I might have believed like, some kind of an industrial wax or clean or some kind of like, epoxy or something even, but
Do you know how quick you would have to be to do it? Yeah. To
duct
fill
tape's a
the hole
liquid,
before,
like it's
before it
literally
affects anything. Yeah. It would be microseconds before it would start to all the air would start to evacuate. You have to be right there on it, man.
yeah, like I said, it would happen like like when a rocket takes off, a real rocket, not the fake ones, not the ones that go up and they rise like this, but I'm talking about the ones that just go and they're gone. Like as soon as you push the button, they fucking literally disappear into the sky with a little trail of smoke and they're gone. That's how quickly they move.
Well, they want to keep the line,
and they're only doing 300 or 400 miles per hour or whatever airspeed is, whatever you call it, knots or whatever. But I can tell you, I've shot rockets off many different kinds with different stages and all that shit, and some of them got way the fuck up there, bro. And I'm being in
Estes.
very short amount of time, bro. Very short amount of time.
You remember the Estes rocket
a
kits?
motherfucking mile or two
Yeah,
before they hit the ground.
the SD rockets, the ones you buy.
Yeah. I got one in the garage right now, ready to go. I just need a one of those, the button to start it. The little thing, the electrical. Usually, you just need to use a 9-volt or a couple of 9 volts in series, but
Yeah, I got to put
a battery or a 12-volt battery that works. Just boom, you hit those wires, bam, it'll fucking light right up.
I was wondering why we haven't heard from Brenda yet. The meeting closed.
I don't think I care why we haven't.
Yeah, I know.
I think you only mention it because you like to get a rise out of it.
No. I'm not getting a rise out of it. I want them to hop in there so I get them.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean so you can stick them in there and you can't get out?
Yeah. They can sit back there the whole show. They don't have to worry about typing in.
Waiting for you to bring them on, and he's just sitting there doing nothing.
But yeah, they use a special fuel for the SR-71 too. They don't use normal AP fuel.
Yeah.
They use enhanced shit.
Because then they can charge the government way more money to produce.
No, there's certain things that won't burn at that
alcohol. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, of course there is. But
they have
believe that they're burning other things besides the things that that.
They have to put other stuff in there too, so the engines don't seize up. Yeah. Because of the temperature, they have to add
I would assume that an engine that went high up would have to be fluid. Like it would have to be buried in oil somehow, and the air would have to flow through it some other way. Like in a smaller area than you would think.
Well, there's no rockets in there.
You wouldn't be able to keep the bearings from shattering, right?
The other myth is that people think that it has booster rockets. It doesn't.
Well, how do you draw all the heat out of it? That's what I want to know. That's the biggest question about any kind of plane. When you're going over, I'm not saying they can go 1,000 miles per hour, but let's just say they can, because there's a land speed record that's almost 1,000, right?
It goes faster than that.
But it was on a track, though, right?
2,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's like 2,000.
Okay, but still, it caught on fire. It literally just the state of it going that quickly caused it to light on fire and combust. So you think about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is it doesn't.
So how the fuck does the space shuttle do that and then come back and
normal fuel? Doesn't use normal fuel. It uses a special mix fuel because of the problems that they have at high altitude because of the engine and the amount of power it makes.
Yeah,
it would burn itself up if the mixture was off even just a little bit at that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's probably the truth. Yeah, because they have to use like really, really like high flash point metals or whatever you call that.
We're talking about fuel, dude. That's what we're talking about.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is each fuel will burn at different temperatures inside the engine. One will burn hotter in one part of the engine in others, you know what I'm saying? Like he's saying. So when you have with issues, when you're at high altitudes with low oxygen and all that, you need to like compress more air, right? Well, so the engine would have to be larger and it would have to be more technical, right?
Once you get it,
same small ass motor that they use in all the other guns.
Hold on, we got to answer. Holy Jesus!
You ain't dealt with Ryan too much, have you?
Oh God!
I know you won't stop, dude. We're trying to explain something to you, Eddie. You're just gonna keep talking over him.
It says turbine fuel low volatility JP7 is known as JP7. I looked this up a while ago.
It's kerosene, bro.
It's a special mix. It says it's very low volatility and relative unwillingness of JP7 to be ignited requires this fucking I don't even know if I can say this.
Go for it.
Triethylborine to be injected into the engine in order to initiate combustion.
Oh, because it needs flash
and allow afterburner operation in flight. The SR-71 had a limited capacity for TEB.
So it has two in here.
Then it says, and therefore has a limited number of available shots, quote unquote, quote end quote, shots of TEB, usually 16 for restarts, and those had to be managed carefully on long duration flights with multiple stages of relatively low altitude air refueling,
that's
and
got to be
normal
dangerous.
high altitude cruise. And basically, they have to put that stuff in there because of the such low oxygen content at the heights they're flying at. They have to add a catalyst into it to ignite that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like a diesel truck has to have the.
And plus, the low temperature affects the actual fuel itself, and it affects its burn rate. So, naturally, if you cool the fuel, it creates more oxygen, but then it doesn't want to ignite. So you have to either heat it up, or you have to add a catalyst to it to make it more vapory.
And it makes your pumps wear out faster too.
Yeah, and they have they have problems with the pumps. They have problems because now it's.
I don't know shit about aerodynamics or any of that shit, but I can understand physics enough to understand what you're talking about. Does that surprise you? I didn't even graduate high school, right?
Well, that's more like chemistry.
I'm a complete dumbass. I didn't graduate high school. I went to 12th grade and I dropped out because of those issues I had.
It's saying that
I wasn't smart enough.
It's saying that it's not a conventional distillate fuel, but is created from special blending stocks in order to have a very low concentration of highly volatile components like benzene or toluene. It says and almost no sulfur, oxygen, and nitrogen impurities. It has low vapor pressure. It says it's high thermal oxidation stability. It says the fuel must operate across a wide range of temperatures from near freezing at high altitude to the high temperatures of the airframe and engine parts that are being cooled by it at high speed. So the fuel is actually help cooling the engine at the same time. Yeah. Kind of like an alcohol.
So it actually hits the combustion chamber, right?
Yeah, kind of like an alcohol, where alcohol.
Kind of diesel does the same kind of thing. It lubricates the engine at the same time that actually turns into gas, right?
Alcohol and ethanol burn at a lower rate, even though they create the same flammability, meaning that they burn just like a regular fuel.
At high compression rates and all that, you can get a different kind of burn too. You've seen that, right? Well, afterburner burns.
Even in their combustion cycle, they generate less heat in the combustion cycle, meaning that then you have to change how the engine actually cools it. Gasoline actually burns hot
because they've got kinds of old engines.
You get a shit ton of heat from burning gasoline, especially at this level. Once you start going higher up, gasoline starts having more and more problems.
Well, that's why most airplane fuel is basically some derivative of kerosene. It's either benzene, kerosene, or one of those, or it's made from the same shit. It's basically the same kind of gas.
It says it has
high pressure. It liquefies and it gets really cold, kind of like a refrigerant. So you're right. But it also, like I said, the pump issues. There's all kinds of issues. My biggest issue is why wouldn't they just have two jets? One that actually works at low altitudes, and then they have one that they only turn on once they hit the higher altitudes where they have to. Then they separate the engines completely. They don't have all that issue. But why don't scientists think of these things?
Oh, here it is.
Why is it a guy like me can think of a way to actually fix part of that problem, but yet they hadn't think of it? It's because they didn't think it out enough.
Here's the full breakdown of it. It says that hydrocarbons, including alkylins, cyclones, alky benzenes, with addition of fluorocarbons to increase its lubricant properties. It says
cans to push out fucking.
It says an oxidizing agent to make it burn more efficiently in a cesium containing compound known as A50, which is to aid in disguising the radar and infrared signatures of the exhaust plume.
That explains.
Yeah, that's for the SR. But I imagine the compression rate you'd have to do to burn that kind of fuel.
And imagine the system of computer that would have to control it so that it didn't fucking blow itself up every time.
Control the fuel system itself. It would have to be monitored temperature and the burn. I mean, just like a fuel injection system on a car. It's taking a reading every thousandth of a second. It's taking a reading.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I can tell you why the oxygen levels are low up there, because the phase change deck is around 10,000 feet. That you lose a lot of oxygen when it.
Yeah. So the burn. So what happens is whatever you're burning now doesn't have enough, which means then you have to drop the amount. You got to remember that the higher in elevation you go, the ratio to oxygen to fuel changes.
Yeah.
There's a balance of how much air that you add to fuel and how much fuel you can burn in air. So once that oxygen starts to drop down, that fuel has to also come down with it. If you just keep the fuel level the same and go higher and higher in elevation, what ends up happening is that the engine starts to run really hot. Yeah, and it fucks the plugs up, it fouls the plugs up, and it causes
kind of fluid that they have to pump in and out. So that they can.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean the even the pump, even how it pumps fluids is going to change as you go higher in elevation.
They use hydraulics that way. They can use oil to push the fuel in, and then there's always oil to keep pushing in. See what I'm saying? So it keeps it balanced so that it doesn't offset.
Well, that's why I said you got to have heavy compression to actually ignite this stuff, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a jet, so I mean,
Explain
it's
to me though. My biggest question is why do we need to
compressing
go
it.
faster in the air? I don't get that. Like, what's the point of it? What are we going to get out of it? What kind of technology are we going to
Well, those are
discover?
spy planes, dude. That's not anything but a spy plane, so they can actually go out of radar range. So they don't.
Well, they can also travel so quickly that you can't really pick them up because by the time the radar comes back to you, they're already 50 miles down the road, right?
Yeah, but I mean, what they're doing, they'll time that, and they'll get your signature. They'll know whether.
Well, yeah, I get it, but if you're going at some point, you're going so quickly that they just can't keep up, right? The radar signal, well, I don't know if you could outrun a light signal.
Surface to air missiles are just as fast, dude. I promise. That's what they're trying to avoid. They don't want to get shot down.
We do like radios, it all works on fringe science, but yet there is no proof of it. It's really fucking strange, though.
Well, I don't believe everything they tell you about it.
Well, I mean,
that's the part.
just understanding basic how things work, just how things happen.
Well,
compression and engines.
Like I understand go-karts
and
and things. I understand physical things that sit on the ground.
Carburetor cars was synonymous. If you were going from low altitudes, say you bought a car in Massachusetts. This is the carburetor era. You bought a car in Massachusetts and you drove it to Colorado. By the time you got to Colorado, you start to realize that the higher in elevation you go, the more fuel you're burning.
Yeah.
The fuel just fucking started. You're like, why is this tank going? So it's because the adjustments on the carburetors pre-computers were fixed. So they were fixed to the elevation that the car was built for. You take the car and then bring it to Colorado, you got to retune it. So you got to retune that carburetor in Colorado than if you were down on the beach in Massachusetts. It's a difference in the amount of oxygen.
So if you're driving a truck over the mountains, you have to do the same thing. You have to stop and check the pressure because the pressure changes when you get high altitude.
Yeah, it's not fucking with the carb.
temperature.
It's running super. You're running it super rich, meaning that it doesn't have enough oxygen, but you're dumping a ton of the same fuel you were dumping into the engine at the sea level.
It's no longer efficient. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, you higher elevation, you got to retune the carburetor for the higher elevation and lower oxygen.
But I thought they had like I thought they used the EGR valve for that. That I thought the EGR valve controlled that. It keeps hot gases coming in from the exhaust in order to keep it warm, so that it keeps combustion rates at the right.
They started putting in sensors into the exhaust system when the fuel injection system started.
Right. So that they know what the oxygen levels are. Right.
Yeah. Basically what it does is it takes a sniff of the exhaust air and then says, okay, it's running too lean, add more fuel, or hey, it's running too fat, pull the fuel back. It's those systems are just naturally aspirated. So whatever air it's breathing, these fuel injection systems, whatever air it's able to detect and breathe and it sees, then it'll add the appropriate amount of fuel to whatever you want. If you punch it to the floor, it's probably going to give you a little more fuel, in the curve itself as it's shifting and doing whatever. But if you took the same car and brought it to Colorado, the mountains in California and wherever, Yellowstone, whatever you can think of, fuel injection systems are going to automatically adjust the fuel ratio to the amount of oxygen that it detects.
Yeah, I have a couple of sensors on the vehicle I got now, the 98.
Time change altitude as well.
It adjusts for the altitude, the air pressure.
Water flow, different temperatures at different altitudes. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff.
Plus, here's the problem also. There's also another problem with that, because if you took a car from Colorado, driving it in Colorado, and now you brought it to Massachusetts, well, it's going to run different. Because now you're lower in elevation, which means it's got more oxygen, which means that it's going to change how the car's going to drive. So, it fucks with the computer. It's going to actually be faster in Massachusetts than it will be at the top in Colorado.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I get better gas mileage here than I did in Tempe. It's
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
you will. It'll change
when-
depending. Yeah, altitude does affect it.
Yeah, it's going to affect it because they're naturally aspirated cars. It's not like a boosted car where they could simply say,
Well, yeah.
okay, we'll just spool the turbo up quicker. Or
The
we'll
rate
just-
at which it can actually rotate, there is a limit to it, right? Like the RPMs. So yeah, I guess there has to be. Yeah, the amount of pressure that can go into the engine at any one time is limited by the speed of the engine turning and the camshaft and all. Yeah, of course. So there would be like a line that you cross that would literally make it not run at all. You're right.
You'll lose
You got those
horsepower.
guys-
You'll lose horsepower in a naturally aspirated car if you were to just run the car in a hotter environment.
Mhm.
Because it's just naturally going to start to say, okay, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's going to.
Well, yeah, warm is different. You're right, but altitude does make a big difference too, right? And the speed at which
Temperature.
the air cools
More
is
than anything
different.
The
Altitude.
cooler the air is that the engine sucks in,
Yeah.
the cooler the air engine, the more oxygen in that charge, meaning that air that's coming in there is colder. That means that it's more dense. So they can pull that shit in. It's the same thing if that thing was sitting out in the desert.
It's funny. I always thought that a warm day would make it run better, but I guess you're right.
Yeah, so
Well, I guess it's a racing engine, but I mean, if you're just talking about a low, like low RPM motor, like my piece of crap little
Yeah, you wouldn't notice much.
125 6 engine, whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah.
like it's literally it's a rocket when you get going fast because it's got RPMs, but it's just a little tiny engine that just spins like a motherfucker. But it doesn't have any power at low speed, right? But when you get
Colder-
up faster, you can just smoke. I can smoke a Mustang once I'm going like 90. You know what I mean? But only because the transmission's spinning so fast.
Oh, the weird thing about this, like, we had a Globey come on. He said he took a physics course. He said, if you guys have any questions about the globe, study the SR 71. He thought it's rocket powered for some reason. I
No,
think that's what he
it's
thought.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
because
did-
he saw the gases coming off the bottom of the plane when it was flying. Yeah, a lot of people do that too.
Here's a skinny on that. Colder air is denser than warmer air, meaning
Right.
that it contains more oxygen molecules per volume. This increased oxygen density allows for
When you plane air,
to burn
you're
more
using
fuel,
air to get
resulting
planes, you're
in
going to go.
power output for every 10 degrees Celsius, which is 18 degree Fahrenheit drop in intake air pressure. An engine can increase, the power can increase from 1% to 10%, depending on engineering conditions. It says, for example, a 30 degree Fahrenheit temperature drop could theoretically increase horsepower up to 9% just in the fuel cooling. That doesn't mean that the higher you go, the more oxygen. It's the actual opposite. It's just, let's say you're on the ground and you're at the lowest level. Well, the cooler air at that level is going to make more power than the hotter air at that level. Because,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't understand it. Like,
Well, yeah,
the
you're
higher
right.
you go,
Because
you lose oxygen because it's bonding with the hydrogen to make the clouds and form rain. Above that, you're going to lose oxygen levels. That's my contention with it.
Yeah,
It has
and
nothing to do with space. In a vacuum, you lose
No.
all of it.
It's just natural because of the temperature can show you that it can affect how fuel, especially how fuel is burned.
Yeah.
How
it also
efficient.
affects how
how
it destroys
inefficient
the
it
engine,
is.
because metals have a melting point. If you get close to that curry point, it'll fucking destroy the engine. The engine won't have any strength anymore. It'll just fall apart.
Well, naturally, if
You know what I mean?
it's running more efficient and it's got more oxygen, it's adding more fuel, which generates more heat.
Right, but also that cool air. What you're saying is it runs better because the cold air keeps it from overheating too, right?
Yeah,
That's
all the vapor won't burn up.
That's third too.
You get better
And in
compressed.
racing engines, sometimes don't they use like refrigerant? Like first stage of the part of the intake is like some kind of refrigerant. That's why they spray shit in the air.
Well,
right
no,
before
you can add stuff into the fuel on top of it, like nitrous oxide.
Yeah, but no, I mean not like that, but like just like isn't there some kind of like refrigerant thing that sucks colder that freezes the air as it goes into the intake on engines? Some
Well,
of them?
they can do it into like an intercooler where it'll
Yeah,
mist
like that's what I
the
mean.
air
Like,
into it. Yeah.
some
They
kind of
can
an
also
inverted
do it with
cause
methanol.
heat change. Yeah.
Let's
can
get back to
inject-
the documentary before Asab goes live. I think he might be going live.
What,
Hey
what's
guys,
it do?
let's see what they say anything about the compression system on this and the fuel. I don't think they're going to break it that much detail in this documentary.
Operational service.
I think we just broke it down pretty good though.
Pretty good.
We did, though.
Regarding the financial constraints, the report says that though in the second quarter of 2022, Lockheed reported a $225 million pre-tax loss on a classified aeronautics program that had just completed a comprehensive review. 3 months later, however, the company filings indicated that the customer for this effort had simply a memorandum of agreement to modify the scope and price of the contract. This implies that there is indeed a contract in place, seemingly a fixed-price incentive fee contract,
on this damn
and
thing.
that Lockheed Martin is unlikely to have to swallow these cost overruns on its own. With continued budgetary overruns, now reaching $335 million, it stands to reason that the program's overall budget is significantly more, it said.
We're just going to talk about budget.
Other reports have suggested that the United States Air Force plans to introduce SR-72 in 2030. However, more details are not publicly revealed, as it's a top-secret project. The only thing Lockheed officials have said is that the SR-72 is touted to reach over 4,000 miles per hour, or 6,437 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest plane ever developed.
Holy shit.
If realized,
Did you see the speed on that? Guys, come on. 4,000 miles per hour. And how fast does the space station go, according to what they say? 17,000 miles an hour. Nobody's listening, are you? You guys there?
Roger, listen, that what do you call it's going, what, 17,000 miles an
No,
hour?
if you wanted to stay in orbit
Tweak
and
your shelter with
solar
solar panels on it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you have to go at least 1,048 miles per hour. That's the speed of the Earth's spin. So you'd have to go at least that fast. Then you'd have to be on top of that, whatever speed, in order to catch up or pass or do a loop or whatever you call orbit, whatever. That's technically how it would work, right?
Hey,
Sorry.
D-Man, your grandson's in the back.
Oh, my grandson. Well, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
We're in
come up
arms
for
with
adoption.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
My grandson. God almighty.
That's the way you're going to be with your grandson now, is it? Huh?
Holy
That's
Christ.
where you're going to go.
Paul Hogston corrected me, 17,500 miles an hour. That tweaker shelter with solar panels is going.
Yeah.
That giant milk tank.
Hey, milk tank would probably be more stable
The
than
thing is that if they're saying they can just barely do 1,000 miles per hour, but NASA can do 17.5 plus or whatever, then yeah, I'd laugh at that because that sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me.
Yeah.
But I believe when Lockheed says it, I believe they have to prove it to the government in order to sell the engine and the jet. So they're not lying about it. They might be, the crossover between knots and miles per hour might be different, but who gives a shit? It's still fucking quick, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what are you going to do with the damn thing? I mean,
They're only
at some speed you
businesses.
can't even pick up radar anymore. So what the fuck I don't understand.
Their only
Right.
business, Ryan, is the government.
Yeah, they don't.
That's
They
the
don't
only
have a
business.
contractor.
Toys that cost $5 million or $20 billion a piece. That's all it is.
That's their only business. If they had no government contract, they'd be out of business immediately.
All right, let's see what else they got to say about this damn thing.
the SR-72 would provide the U.S. Air Force with unparalleled speed and strike capabilities, potentially outmaneuvering even the
But you
most
have to slow
advanced
down
air
and fire the
defenses.
fucking shit. Come on, dude. That's
Imagine making a left at 4,000 miles an hour.
rocket at miles per hour or any other speed. No fucking way. You're slowing down to fucking whatever it is, then you're firing that rocket.
Yeah, you wouldn't hit anything, dude. You'd miss everything at that speed. Oh, they can calculate it with gravity. I forgot.
Blow up the instant it hit the fucking air, bro.
That's nuts.
Incidentally, the fastest aircraft to fly so far in mankind's history was none other than SR-72's father, SR-71 Blackbird. It had a record-setting top speed of Mach 3.2 in 1974 at an altitude of 85,000 feet, a record still unmatched. However, the United States Air Force retired it in 1998.
Because they lied about it.
The SR-71
After
was
2 years,
developed
that's the real
essentially
shit.
as a spy plane. It was primarily meant for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, or ISR, activities. However, its maintenance proved too costly over the years, mainly when ISR activities were
Now,
conducted.
think about this. That's a spy plane, right? What kind of pictures is it taking at that kind of speed? And what kind of shutter rate you need to get a picture?
Yeah, exactly. Without it blurring the fuck.
Oh yeah,
It's hard enough to do it on a fucking jet plane, isn't it? When you're going 500 miles per hour.
yeah.
Because it has an effect on it, right?
Well, it probably wouldn't have that great of an effect if they were crazy, crazy high up off of it. It probably would lessen that blur. I mean, if you were close to the
focal length
ground
you'd
and they
have
were
to
going
have
that
at that
fast,
height.
forget it. It'd just be a blur.
You had to take a picture with a telescope. Jesus.
At a much cheaper rate through spy satellites. This was the main reason for its de-induction in 1998.
Oh, those Chinese spy satellites with balloons on them.
Drones. Goddamn drones and those robot dogs, I swear to you.
Yeah. It's fantasy world, dude. Look at that horizon, though. Look at that son of a bitch. Yeah, that's dropping away at that rate, and their height is. Who the hell's calling me from Wisconsin? Hold on, guys.
Okay, how many feet are in a mile?
A quarter of a mile is 1,320 feet.
But it's like what, I forget what it is. There's a number, right? So take 17,500 miles per hour and multiply that into the miles and how many miles how fast you'd actually be traveling and how quickly that rocket would disappear off from the Earth and be so quickly off the Earth and be gone into space in seconds. That's what I believe.
It's 5,280. What did you say?
Yep.
So 5,280 times what? You said you wanted to divide it?
Good question.
180. Whatever a mile. How many feet's in a mile?
We just broke that down.
5,280.
So that's how fast you travel in one whatever increment.
Well, there's no way to really harness that. I don't.
Well,
think
it's an hour, right? You travel 17,000
do the clock.
500 feet in 1 hour, right? That's basically what the speed of miles per hour means, right?
Yeah,
If you use kilometers, it's still the same.
2,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So
So
22 would
Take
be
it to the
2,200.
surface. You'd have to measure that out, and you have to calculate your altitude to actually
So
realize how fast you're actually going. Right.
I'm just saying, I think that the rocket would disappear very quickly. It wouldn't just float up like it does when you go out there and sit there and watch them fire one off.
Yeah.
What you're watching is a fucking hot air balloon.
So
That's my opinion.
that's 3,255,033 feet per second at 2,220 miles an hour.
You would that rocket would disappear so quickly off the face of the Earth that you wouldn't even see it once it took off. It would just literally explode into fucking speed and disappear instantly. Yes.
3,255,000 feet per second.
Feet per second. There you go.
here's the
Nice
question:
job.
how do they scale the height that they're at, though, to begin?
How do they even control something going that quickly? It's impossible, bro.
Yeah.
You'd leave the universe. You'd leave the planet if the planet existed. You'd leave and you'd be in the moon in seconds, bro. Seconds.
According to their calculation, how far is the moon? How many miles?
186,000 feet or 186,000 miles or whatever the fuck it is.
No. It's further. It's 243 was the original calculation back that I heard in the 80s, but it's dropped down to 238,000 miles.
Or whatever, 238, whatever.
But
Yeah.
they say that fluctuates because the moon's.
Well, it had to be as
supposed
close to
orbit.
237, of course.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, your grandson left. He didn't hang out any longer.
Oh, poor baby.
I know.
However, it's now been realized that
What are you gonna say, D-Man?
I'm trying to work something out here. Hold on.
I think Leo broke it down what the shuttle speed was going, and he used landmarks in their video.
Yeah. Well, you could just,
Not
like
even
when they break the clouds, you should be able to measure the distance that they travel. If they claim that they're going that fast from the ground, we all know that's impossible.
Yeah.
Because we've seen, dude, if you've ever fired a rocket off, you know, as soon as it takes off, it disappears. You don't see much after that. It's gone.
Well, you notice they like to give you numbers that are almost impossible to calculate.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, almost where you need a special calculator to figure out how many zeros are after it, right? Yeah.
You're not going that fast, dude.
No, they're going maybe 100 miles per hour, so they can make it take all day long to make that jet go up there and leave that big old trail of smoke, so everybody watches it all day long, all over the different places on you know what I'm saying, right? It's a big spectacle.
That's their max speed too. That isn't their cruising speed. Their cruising speed,
right? Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, but if you look at where I got this idea from, where I came up with this, how I figured it out, was I watched the little clock that they put at the bottom of the screen when they're showing some of the later ones. They'll show a little speedometer at the bottom and show how fast it's supposedly going. And I noticed that when it got up to a certain speed, you and I know that the ship would have been shaking like a son of a bitch. But those guys are sitting in there like it's nothing's moving. They're passing shit back and forth. They're writing with the pen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
They're not experiencing the said G-forces.
No, they have some kind of anti-gravity now, I guess. Roger, I don't know.
They're just lying to your ass.
There's just no effect on their bodies at all. It's like they must be flipping around in a circle or spinning in some kind of cage or something that keeps them from getting any shift in G-force. I don't know how the fuck it works. But.
With the Dragon, we covered a couple of their launches and their re-entries live here on the show.
And why would we ever fire something off of the ground with all that weight when we could fly it up in cargo ships and then shoot it off from there? It doesn't make any logical sense. Like the space program doesn't make any logical sense if you really think about it. Militarily, the military wouldn't touch it. That's the reason why NASA has to take care of it, because it has to be a special program, because people aren't stupid enough to fucking fall for it. That's why.
Because the military deals with real life situations.
Exactly. They deal with flat fucking plain Earth, and they don't fucking care. They don't give a shit what you think about it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They just follow their orders. They follow
war, dude. Yeah.
They even do that shit in their manuals. They do the same thing in all their manuals. When
they need you to understand certain information, and they don't give a fuck how you figure it out.
Talking about any kind of aiming systems, they always say treat it as flat and stationary.
Yeah.
I mean, the documents tell you to treat it as flat and stationary in every way, meaning physically. That's
it's
why
everything in their airplane designs, everything.
Yeah.
They start with a non-rotating fighter.
I've seen them all, almost all.
I've seen hundreds of them. I got them all in a document on my phone.
Yeah, NASA's more in the business of making you believe shit, dude. That's really what they're in the business.
Yeah, they're the imaginary department. Of failed ideas.
Yeah. Well, I saw how I broke it down originally, like how they get what they do. They when they show the orbits, so with like the ISS station, they film the clouds moving below it, everything. They speed up their film. That's all they do, because they claim they're actually going that fast, but they just speed up the film.
No, what they do is they take high altitude plane flight that they're doing actually all the time. There's a plane flying around taking the pictures, and then they just convert that to their fucking whatever software that converts it into make a curve.
Yeah, well, not just the curve. I'm talking about if you ever watch like the 24-hour streaming stuff. You see the pass underneath it. They just speed that footage up. That's all they're doing. They're speeding it up.
Yeah, it's basically just a big fucking it's a clock.
It's not live. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of images that are lined up to where when you watch them in a certain order, they flash on the screen. That's it. Yeah, pretty much. That's all TV really is, guys.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else is.
And what's funny is if the way that we discover everything in our world is through the light that we can see with our own eyes, why did they use other kinds of light and claim that they work better? Can you explain that to me? When it doesn't make any logical sense? Like, why wouldn't cameras be all infrared if that's the best way to fucking use it? It doesn't make any logical sense.
Nobody wants to stare at infrared image all the time.
No, the Japanese would have took that technology and enhanced it and made it fucking awesome, because that's what they do, right? But they don't, because it doesn't fucking exist, Roger. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thermal imaging does exist.
Yeah, it does, but I'm saying it's not necessarily going to make any difference, right? Because the way I see something, like if you were going to show me a planet, I'd want to stand on the motherfucker with my own eyes and look at it. I wouldn't want to take your word for it, Roger. You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me that I need to see a different beam of light to land. Come on, dude.
Well, I don't know.
I can see the light in the sky. If it's really a planet that I can see from here, then why is it that doesn't make any sense. See what I'm saying?
Most of those are microwave telescopes, all of them, and they're not. They're radar telescopes. They don't see an
image. They don't see pictures, so you're not seeing a picture of anything. You're seeing data that's put onto a program that's actually made into a little ball, and then it projects these different little shapes, or what do they call them? Triangulations, or whatever the fuck they are. Polygons, whatever the fuck they are. And then it creates this image that makes you see this big fucking Earth bent around in a big circle. It's fake. It's what it is. It's just fucking fake.
Heron looked it out and said it's 14.7 hours in travel time at 17,000 miles an hour to go 250,000 miles.
Yeah, but I've looked at it, and it's a trajectory, and it's not going that fast, dude. No way.
Well, I mean, obviously, by looking at it, it's not.
No. But, I mean, yeah, you should hear their explanation for it. Never mind. There's always explanations.
Ice satellites are also vulnerable to adversaries. When they're in orbit, potential adversaries can predict their movement, and when they will overfly areas they would like to keep private. Modern-day military bases are built to provide overhead coverage as much as possible to hide sensitive material before satellites pass by.
I like to see the
antidote to this is an aircraft that can fly at hypersonic speed, which is Mach 5 and above, which is about 3,800 miles or 6,116 kilometers per hour. This will leave no time for the aircraft's overflying detection.
Yeah, but how do you take a picture at that speed?
Thus, SR-72 fits the bill perfectly. It's said with this speed, SR-72 can travel from the US to Europe in just an hour and a half. Secondly, while the SR-71 was known to take pictures, it was not able to operate with the weight of weapons and their targeting equipment. On the contrary, apart from performing ISR duties, SR-72 would have the capability to attack targets with hypersonic weapons that are also harder to detect. Launching an object, like a ballistic missile, into space gives radar, which can see beyond the Earth's curvature, more time to detect it.
Yeah, see, this is where it's
Hypersonic weapons,
wonky.
even at a low altitude, can avoid detection for longer and combined with their...
No, it's just a higher power radar. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's just, this is where it's going to go wonky.
Yeah. They got to throw in their rhetoric, dude. That's all it is.
They have to make it sound bigger than it actually is. That's all.
You saw that horizon, dude. Just in that clip. At that speed, flying over, you'd have to go. You would see it go down. You'd be out of your eyesight.
Well, you'd have to be continuously going. Well, you'd have to be continuously following a shape no matter what, because if you just ran it straight and gave it fluid, flat and level with no dip, no rise, no anything input, and just said, all right, let's run it perfectly straight. It's not going to follow a curve.
We see way too far. That is one of the most true statements I've heard in the last 5 years.
That's simple. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, but when you're driving over a mountain, you're not getting to the top of the mountain and just magically keep going. Straight is just an orientation. You can drive straight over anything, but fly that plane level and have it just go off of what they say this thing is, and you'll quickly see that.
Yeah, Chris is going to go over some stuff. He wants to go through quantification over his theory with the way the magnetics work. The dielectrics. I'm pretty sure we can get a good average. It's going to end up probably just like gravity or the rest of it. It's going to be just an average of the way that our pressurized system works.
Got to follow the shape, baby, and
and if we don't live on a blue marble, we certainly don't live on a flat plane.
Welcome to the pizza.
Yeah, it's got cheese on it, pepperonis.
Yeah, welcome to the pizza. Yeah. Got the cup in the middle so that you can stack another pizza on top of it, and the box won't squish.
Those are the best.
There you go.
Speed, they give a potential enemy limited time to react to their presence. It's assumed that the SR-72, which, like its predecessor, SR-71, is over 100 feet or 30 meters long, and designed to operate without a human pilot, will support Lockheed Martin's new high-speed strike weapon, or HSSW, enhancing its striking ability.
So what they're saying, they're going to fly these in tandem, dude. That was a plan.
They're going to fire those magnetic bullets out of those planes.
Unmanned.
Which they could vaporize your body anywhere on the Earth anytime they want.
That's
Even
a hell
through
of a remote control, dude. I'm telling you.
But that doesn't mean they would. It just means they could. So don't worry. The government would never use that against you.
Of course,
No,
they
they're going to strike targets like within hours. Like
They
if
just use
something
it
happens.
on bad people that they don't like. You know, as long as you don't become that person, you're fine.
The other thing-
If you're Venezuelan, you have nothing to worry about.
yeah.
If you live in South America, they won't bother you. Don't worry.
Yeah, this is funny, dude. It is how they're developing a stealth weapon that can't be detected by radar. That's actually accompanied by another stealth weapon that can target everything.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like using gravity to assume that it's a sphere and then assume that it's a sphere so that you can assume that it's a sphere?
Well, yeah, gravity's just the glue that holds the sphere that they think is a sphere together.
Yeah. And it just goes, yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's a sphere.
has
Because
any kind of any normal force like centrifugal or central what do you call
it just suddenly annihilates itself because gravity's magic, see?
Yeah, well, gravity. I was looking through the definitions, and every kind of force that they claim that goes with the globe, the cause of it is gravity. That's
Even though gravity's not a force. But that makes sense.
even their main physicists say that it's not a force. It's a weak force, but
They tell you the truth and they lie to you in the same fucking sentence and you believe it.
Unnecessary. It's just not needed in any of it.
Nope.
It just points the intensity. It's
And you really don't have to lie about that shit. You could lie another way and it would have been a lot
That's-
easier. No.
centripetal force and those forces, those are caused by gravity too. Centrifugal, all those equals gravity. Everything.
They need all that bullshit to keep the whole globey thing alive.
Yeah, that's the way the
To
model
explain
works.
how water can convex and explain how the water isn't falling off the bottom and how it's all inward pressure and up is away from the surface.
And it all goes to the center of mass.
Yeah. All bullshit.
Yeah, and we
The
need to
aircraft's
make
combat capabilities, it's claimed, make it ideal for striking targets in dangerous environments where manned aircraft would be too slow and risky. The new weapon system can fire hypersonic weapons.
Yeah, but here's the question though: what if any of those systems fail? Right? And Ryan, what were you trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have backup sensors.
Oh yeah.
Like a whole bunch of them, yeah, just in case the pressure, you know. What if you get a pressure leak? Well, you know, there must be a thing for that, but we don't know.
Yeah, but we can't detect any of them.
We're not allowed to question that because, you know, they tell it to the government. But we know.
Saul's coming on in a little while.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm going to end it here pretty soon. I just want to cover flight. Matter of fact, I'm going to end this one because they're not going to cover anything else but the
No,
SR.
it's going to be all fucking magic and
Yeah, it's all
shit.
been on. Like,
They're going to SR.
You can see the direction that's going.
I'd rather just cover the SR-71 instead of like this fake thing that Darstar or whatever it is they ain't made yet. God, that looks horrible, doesn't it?
My brother a long time ago had a can of stuff. I forget what it was. It was some kind of aviation fuel, 260. I should probably look it up.
Did he fly model planes?
No, I think he got it somewhere. I don't know where he got it. Yeah, 260. It's unleaded, 100 octane fuel, 5 gallons. 260 was like a race fuel. I bought a car a long time ago when I remember as a kid. It was like a drag racing car. It was a Chevelle. And it had big slicks on the back and it was all geeked out. It's a long time ago. I was probably mid-teens. And yeah, he had these big fuel cans. The thing ran on this Sunoco 260. And it's like this super unleaded, this super
I know what
shit.
you're talking
It doesn't have any of the additives in it. It's just pure fuel at a crazy high octane rate so that it doesn't ping.
They run
so
those
you don't-
sprint cars off of them and some drag.
Yeah, it's like race car shit. He had a
well,
drag.
that's ethanol. They use ethanol in that.
So I just looked it up, 260 Sunoco 260, and it's GT100 unleaded, 100 octane fuel, 5 gallons, DOT approved.
I had one of those little McCullochs, the 2-stroke engines.
Yeah, they use that nitro fuel. I did too.
Yeah. You had to get it up you had to crank that thing up to like 2,000 RPMs just to get it to start.
Cox engines. I had Cox engines when I was a kid for these little RC cars that I had that had these little Cox 5cc Cox engines that use zip tie pulled, and they used this nitromethane fuel. It was basically same kind of shit they use in like model airplanes.
Yeah.
Cox fuel it was called, and it had nitromethane in it in the mix of the fuel itself.
they're completely inefficient, man. Think about it. Yeah, all the maintenance you have to do to keep that thing running. You'll burn through valves and all kinds of stuff real quick.
On those things, I think they were little two strokes. So
Yeah.
they were, you had to add a little oil in with the fuel.
Yep.
2-stroke motors.
Yeah, I got it. It was a go-kart engine I had, and to get the thing running, we had to crank the thing, get it spinning up to 2,000 RPMs just to get it started before it actually fire up. Like you had to just basically put a starter on it, spin it up, and get it to start.
What?
Dangerous, dude.
260. But that can sat in the basement for years and years. I think at one point.
Oh, this go-kart right here, yeah, it's fucking dangerous. If I put the right engine on there, I can go at 65 miles per hour. I'm like this far away from the ground.
We're talking about a 2-stroke engine. It's a racing engine.
Yeah.
Chainsaw. I've been to, what do you call it up here, where they had the chainsaw things where the guys
there.
race to cut through the fucking logs with chainsaws.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been.
Well, I've got a Husqvarna for that.
They got special motors that are all geeked out, so those things can start, on a quarter pull. They're like race.
They're hard.
Race.
They're actually very hard to tune, but yeah, they get them down pretty good.
They're made to run at full blast, at full speed. And you're like, fucking burn! The guy just burned through a fucking tree that was thicker than me. Like 2 seconds.
And it vibrates the fuck out of your bones too, man. It really does. After about a half an hour of that shit, your arm hurts, man. Your bones.
I got another document on the SR, the Dark Star. It actually shows you the engine design and everything. They say in there it's actually going to happen. They're going to make this thing.
Yeah, it probably will.
Yeah.
Tech's getting a lot better now. With them designing engines and stuff, they can do a lot of shit. I'm sure that.
But the reality is, why aren't they designing engines that make everything faster? Like they can fly things in planes faster with less drag. I mean, they could be doing that instead of wasting their money on fucking shit that goes 17,005 and supposedly leaves the atmosphere. Come on.
Well,
There's nowhere to go.
Just flying those jets at that speed, they would be way out of the atmosphere a long time ago.
Exactly. Before they even got up half that speed, they'd have already left. Yeah, they'd left the damn universe probably, right?
Well, if there's such a thing, dude, I can't say
exactly.
There's
That's of course what I'm saying.
Oh,
I think it's creation, dude. That's my personal opinion. What you see in the sky is what God put up there for times and seasons.
Well, yeah, and it had to start, but obviously God was smart enough to put the pathway for it, however it worked. But I don't think it's that far away. It's within a certain distance, obviously, because we've got evidence that proves that light only travels a certain distance through, no matter what kind of medium it travels through, right?
Yeah, like there's physics like
we know that there is a line where it just can't go any further. So we know millions of light years is just stupid, right?
Yeah. Well,
and if they would tell us, if they would even lie to us about 1.5 feet, if it was important, then it would be important, right? And it's still a lie. And why would we trust the motherfuckers anyway? That's my point.
Well, I'll do this for you one day. Answers in Genesis has a regular cosmologist, right? And he'll tell you exactly what they believe stars are. He'll break down it all for you. But he incorporated that into the Bible, like that God created all that. But he'll show you how much myth.
Well, the truth is God did create it, and maybe there was some kind of expansion of whatever light and all that. But that's beside the point. That's a theory that came out of some kind of fringe science. It's not actually from any real science that we have on the Earth that works, right?
Yeah, that's astronomy, not science. There's a difference.
It's more like astrology, which is.
Astrology, astronomy, both.
It's more like saying, well, these stars are shaped like a lion, so therefore the lion must rule the world over here on this side, or whatever the fuck.
Well, even in the modern astronomy, without the gravitational lensing they're talking about, none of the theories even make half sense.
Well, thank God their fucking gravitational shit doesn't exist, because otherwise they really have us by the balls.
They did a paper in '94. They redid ether studies, and there's just as much evidence, actually, if not more, for an ether substance in
but
the air.
But you explain to me how an ether makes everything makes everything easier to understand, and makes the world fit together in a perfect clockwork. It's never going to do that. So that's why I just don't believe in that kind of crap. Because when you start with a theory, you're starting with a guess. Well, why would you need the guess? Why not just leave it empty? Like, if you don't know how you got on the Earth, if you don't know that you had a mother and father, and you don't have that information, then you can't give the answer. You can't give an honest answer. You don't know.
You ever heard of the ether winds and stuff like that before? They add physicality to the motions in the sky. It's in a medium. It's called ether.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
It has a
does
it
the
has a
dome
positive
itself
effect.
move? I don't know. I can't prove that it's even there yet. But I mean, I would
Well,
assume that
you do see motion in the sky over an hour.
yes, but I'm saying, but is it the motion of the actual crystalline dome that's moving, or is it the actual light coming through the dome that's moving? And maybe that's the reason why stars flicker in the first place, is because they're literally coming through a crystalline dome. It makes sense to me.
I'll reference you to Aries failure in that.
So you're never going to ever see what a star really is because it's actually behind a screen that's crystallized, and you're never. It's like looking through a kaleidoscope and expecting to see somebody's face. No, you're going to see a million fractions of it in all different directions. That's just how it works, right?
Well, you need clarity between here and there.
In order to see things in deep space is stupid because you're not really seeing any light. You're just seeing radio waves bounce off of shit.
Guys, I don't mean to cut it off, but I gotta run. I'll probably see you guys on.
Getting ready to come on in about 10 minutes, anyways.
Yeah, I might pop back on maybe like a half hour.
I need to get the work done.
Yeah, I'll go over to Savs myself.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good seeing you too, D man. Glad you came over.
Later, bro.
Well, I got another documentary. I'll do it another day. It actually better explains the SR 72 and its development. So I should have grabbed that one first and played it. I got like 10 or 12 of these things.
Okay.
And what they have to do with the pilots, dude, to fly those things, they would have to do the same thing with like people floating around on the ISS station, just due to the physics, the pressure, and the speed you're at.
Like I said, I'd like to see the evidence alone, just the evidence that you can get to a certain altitude and gravity suddenly doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's not gravity, dude.
It doesn't exist. I know it doesn't exist. It's free. The only way you get that is if you're free falling. And they probably figured that out by accident when they were up there fucking around. You know what I mean? Going up and then coming back down, just to try to pretend and fake the whole thing. That's probably how they figured out how to use it to their advantage, was by accident. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think the pressure.
They could take the film out the window and then they shrink it down and make it look like a baller. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's smart. It's intelligent, but it was done by a movie maker. Like, it's literally primitive shit, like Godzilla movie tech that they used then. Well, at least they want us to believe that.
Well, touching on the stuff like the SR-71 and stuff, this will add more clarity to what kind of physics we have to deal with.
So, yeah. I'll admit, it's better evidence. I like the fact that you're bringing more stuff that actually has stuff behind it. Like,
yeah, because when we actually have technology and we actually can show that it works. Yeah.
Well, it's just like if we're going to have an argument about, let's say, germs, okay, not bacteria, because we know bacteria exists, right? But let's just say we call it germs, right? Let's say we have an argument about that. Well, how do you prove something? Well, you show me that thing attacking a human cell, and then you show that human cell got attacked and died because of some whatever that particular whatever thing you want to call it germ did. Yeah. And you show that happening to me in real time through a microscope right here live in front of me, and I'll actually believe you because I've seen stuff in a microscope actually have effects. I've seen people put alcohol on amoebas and all kinds of stupid shit, and I've seen crazy shit happen in a microscope and go, wow, that's interesting. Why? I wonder why that happens, you know? But the reality is, unless you could show it to me right there in front of my face, I'm not going to believe you. Not because I don't trust you, but just because I don't trust nobody. Show me that it does. Like, I get sick all the time. I do. People do. I did when I was a kid. I get sick all the time. But you know what? I was getting immunizations that whole fucking time. As soon as I stopped taking those immunizations, I stopped getting sick. Now, you can say that that's just some kind of accident, or you can say that that's medical advice. You can do whatever you want. I'm not giving you advice at all. I'm just telling you that how can you explain that I was sick every other weekend when I was a kid? As soon as I stopped getting those immunizations, it stopped completely. I stopped getting sick. I really have not been really had strep throat in years since I was a kid. But I used to get it every other fucking weekend. I swear to God. Ask my mother, even though she's dead now. My mother would tell you, I literally was sick every other weekend. I had strep throat all the time. I was constantly sick. And I don't understand why I was. It never made sense to me. I always thought, well, maybe you just get so many colds in your life. And so I started believing in that theory that there's germs that can get in your body, make you sick. And then what I realized is that the reality really is your body is a very finely tuned machine. If you don't feed it properly, you're going to get sick. And your body's going to have all kinds of wicked effects. And they might even show up in mentally and physically in all kinds of different places that you don't understand. But that doesn't mean that what they're saying is true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It might just be some random shit your body does to itself, and they don't know anything about it. And how would they? Because they can't reproduce it in a lab, right? All they can do is show you pictures of dead parts of it. It's like stupid. It's like, and I'm supposed to believe you when you bring, like if you told me you had a videotape of some guy killing some other guy, and then you brought me some video that wasn't an actual video of him, it was actually a video of a wall next to it, And you said, well, you can see the shadow. Look, you can see the shadow of him. He's doing it. See? Well, I can't see, but I can't see who the guy is. But you're claiming that's evidence. Okay, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here, that shit. You see what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you just know when somebody's lying out their fucking ass, and it's just you don't have to bother with it. Fucking even believing their story. You can just walk away, bro. Like, move on.
Well, there's a reason why they call this a cultic practice.
Well, that's why we call it a religion, because that's exactly what it is.
Well,
and I never thought about it that way until somebody enlightened me by just explaining it the same way. They were just like, well, let's put it this way. You don't have proof for this and that. I said, okay, yeah, I'll admit I don't necessarily have proof because God hasn't revealed himself to me yet. So I cannot I cannot say with beyond the shadow of a doubt that I know God physically exists in the human, like in a shape like this. I can't prove that. But I do understand that the only way that
why would
a
you try?
society that's going down the road it's going right now could possibly even stay in any kind of pathway to not becoming completely unrighteous completely all the time has to be because of a good God. It has to be. That's the only logical explanation, is that God is the balance in the universe, and that's what God is. He's the balance between good and evil, and that's simply all it is in this world anyway. I don't know how it works when you leave here, but the way it works in here is that sin has effects and there's responsibilities. Like if you hurt people, they're going to come and hurt you. You go around beating people up all the time, they're going to come and beat you up, right? They're going to do stuff to you. They're going to sue you. They're going to do whatever. Bad things are going to happen to you. And that's all the Bible really is just a big book to warn you, don't do that stupid shit. It's simple, it's not hard to understand at all.
It is.
But that's exactly what it is. It's a simple guide that tells you what to do and what not to do and why. And then when you go out in the world and you test it, you realize it's absolutely right. It tells you the truth all the way down the line and tells you what you're going to think about it at the same time. It's kind of like the AA book. It's like they get into your mind, they pick your brain, and then you end up telling them the answers to the question, even though they shouldn't know the answers, because how the fuck would they know what's going on in your mind? Well, they don't. But they know that all alcoholics and all certain kinds of people have this kind of effect on it, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Yeah, I got you. All right, so Saab's getting ready to go live in about, let's see.
Let's get out.
No, I'm just going to see what time is coming on.
I'm chatty today. My bad.
No, it's all good, dude. And I want to shout out Justin Incredible again. Thanks for supporting the channel. You're highly appreciated. Let's put it that way.
Of course. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right, good night, everybody.
The more I get to dig into these pseudo topics, I'll find less evidence for them. Let's put it that way. I want to play out with a song, an oldie. It kind of fits the theme. The name of it's Jaybird. It's an old song, way back in the day. Let's say goodnight, Ryan. Is he still here with us? He boogied. Good night, guys. Go over see Saab. I'll be over there hanging out with him for a little bit. He's covering a topic.
Sky
want to do is skate. Great song. Jaybird, walking down the street. That's a Token Entry. It's an old punk rock band from, I think, Jersey area. Kind of got a gist of what they were about when I was a kid. Thought they were kind of cool. Real cartoon-like, though. Go see Saab. I'll put a link in for him if you guys don't know who he is. Had him here a second ago. I got too many damn windows open. I'm taking too damn long to get there. Skate. Yeah, right, John. All right, I'll see you guys over there.